Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the 614 Ben. This is another Wednesday, and we're going to come at you with a banger indeed, as we always do. And I want to first thank everyone and say good evening to everyone tuning in with the homies of WTP Sports Dudes. This is your boy Mossberg, and throughout the show, we'll be having some of the homies come in as this evening has been a good start for some, getting through some of the things that they're doing in this work week. And as we always say, we bending and tapping into it all. And there's just a lot that's going on. We know today is July 8th. We know what normally goes on when we got free agency looming, when we got decisions to make. It's a move, a return, farewell tour. A lot of people want, things to really, I guess, speed up. I've been like a little kid waiting and seeing, of course, where the king goes, so we could definitely have even more to talk about when it comes to thoughts on the season, the team that he'll be joining, along with everything else. And we greatly appreciate the unwavering support throughout the week as well. As we've been tuning in, we've been seeing a lot of people, tune in throughout the week in the different shows that we've been having. But before we get right into some of the main topics that we'll be talking about this evening. If this is your first time tuning in, this is your boy Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. For myself, just looking to do so much more with what we do outside of our daily talks. Myself, I hold conversations and I consider those conversations with Mossberg. And to those who I've been able to talk to, I appreciate you for the time you've taken out for me. And I can't wait till we get those dates and those times penciled in so we could get those conversations to the people and bring them to this great world. And people have no idea to some of the stories. But I seen NBA Summer League, and we got to get right into the talk about the NBA Summer League because for me, you know, you got bangers coming on tomorrow night. You got another banger followed up Friday night. But we seen Darren Peterson, his debut with the Utah Jazz, and you might as well consider that a 30 ball for sure. Said, why are you talking to yourself? Man, this is me doing what I do, bringing it to the people. I don't talk to myself. I'm talking to the people, and I'm bringing the people great talk on Darren Peterson. What is your thoughts on the debut that Darren Peterson had in his first summer league game with the Utah Jazz? For me, I was just watching a great overall performance. And for me, there was a lot of questions answered when you speak on Darren Peterson. For myself, we all of course question his I guess the fight, his toughness at times through the injuries and times taken off throughout the season as he played at Kansas. But for those who were watching, and shout out to I'm gonna have to come back to you on the name, man. I've been watching this guy. I'm upset right now that I can't remember the name right away, but I've been watching this guy, and he dropped a video, and I just watched that video after just numerous times watching Darren Peterson prove many points to people as myself, and said, Joseph Mossberg, I'm him. I'm one of those guys that should have been the number one pick possibly, but as we seen, it was a great draft indeed. And for me, watching Darren Peterson put on the show in Utah, I think Utah basketball is back. And when you have Darren Peterson and the ceiling that you have Ace Bailey, you have so many young stars on this Utah team to where the next level is going to be a different level, I think, in the West. And with them being in that West, we know how tough it is. But when you have superstars like Ace Bailey and you have an up-and-coming young superstar and Darren Peterson, I think that these Utah Jazz, for the future, in the near future, you give them a couple years, they're definitely going to be something that you want to watch when it comes to the NBA. And for myself, AJ DeBansa, I can't wait till tomorrow night. Of course, the showdown, AJ, Darren Peterson, people been watching this battle from high school, and for me, I'm just happy for both of the young guys, to be at the level that they're playing at in the NBA and for them to give us something to talk about. AJ is my guy. I thought that he would be the number one overall pick. I felt that he was the pound for pound best player in college basketball last year. So for me, it's going to be exciting to see that game tomorrow. You have Utah, you have Washington, along with so many pieces that Washington have added. I can't wait till this NBA season starts. You have Anthony Davis, you have Trey Young, you have Andre Ayton, you have Sar, you have Keon George, you have so many weapons on this Washington team to where you have that playoff feel already before the season even starts. And for me, I'm an AJ DeBanza fan. I don't have no team, but as it gets closer and closer to the season, my people been telling me, my boys in the chat, and the homies been telling me, man, you might as well go ahead and be an AJ DeBanza fan and with his team in Washington. So we'll see about that. And not to mention another young parent over in Chi-Town, Chicago, the Windy City. You got Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain pairing up in Chi-Town. For me, you already know how I feel about the hometown hero. To me, Dalen Swain, watching him do what he's been doing since he was a young guy, in them younger days playing AAU ball until now, and then just watching Caleb Wilson. I think one of the most underrated four picks that we've seen as a fourth pick in the NBA draft. When you talk about a player that's not talked about and really that talented, you think of Caleb Wilson. He's really good. I've watched a lot of his workouts, and I can't wait to see this Chicago Bulls team do some work. And we coming in with my main man all the way from South Bend, and he's bending the air, and he's the reason that we call this show the 614 Bend. We're gonna welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, post game of post game sports. If everybody could give my man one of those great rounds of applause as he comes into the studio. How's it going this evening? Appreciate you joining us as well.
What's up, Mossberg?
We're just giving them a little bit of the word. We don't got the Bible, but we call it the cook up as usual. So it's only right to go ahead and rhyme the words you brought, and they not the dirty birds. But give us a little bit of your thoughts. How you feeling this evening? It's good to have you as well.
Man, I appreciate you having me as usual, bro. It is all good and swell, man. I'm excited to get on here and chop it up with you, bro. How's your day going?
Yes, sir. Man, can't complain, man. It was, the usual day. The sun was out, nice, smooth day with the breeze, just moving around, getting some things done, and just couldn't wait to get here to talk about the NBA Summer League. Some debuts we was in the text and the threads talking about. Some we have coming up tomorrow night, along with Friday night. I haven't typed in the WNBA ladies, but I got a couple names on the list that I'm gonna have you give me your thoughts on, and I'm gonna just pass the mic to you when we get to that because you are so authentic. Not that I'm not, but you so authentic when it comes to that WNBA talk. And I'm gonna pass it to you because your girl Olivia Miles, whew, we gonna get to her and them WNBA gals, man. But how's it going for you? How you feeling? I know you've been keeping it cheesy, but it's great to see you again as well.
Oh yeah, it's all good, bro. I'm ready to get into it.
And we've been talking, of course, about that NBA Summer League, some of those Summer League debuts. And we was in the chat, and I just gave him a little bit of my spill, and he made me look a little ill. And I wasn't taking pills, but this Darren Peterson is the real deal. What's your thoughts? And we not talking Holyfield, but he is the real deal when we talk about this NBA and his pick that he got selected by the Utah Jazz and what he did the other day. What's your thoughts on Darren Peterson?
Darren Peterson is going to be excellent. I mean, it's the summer league. I'm sure these coaches and the GMs and everybody involved in a process are telling or letting their young talent shine in the summer league. That's for sure. But Darren Peterson is awesome, bro. I mean, Utah couldn't go wrong taking him in the NBA draft.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I love I love his ability to score. I versatile game. He got some hops too. I think a 38 and a half vertical leap jump on record. So I mean, I expect him to be the total package.
Yeah.
So I mean, Darren Peterson to Utah, they could have that star player they've been searching for a long time, my brother.
Yes, indeed. I agree, man. And we also got the man of many hats, City League TV. Ask somebody. We got T1 in the building, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going for you this evening? Unc, how are you feeling?
Going
How
great.
was
Going
your day
great,
this morning?
brothers. Going great, my brothers. Good to see y'all.
Yes, sir.
Apologize for being late. Look, I actually came in after I saw the text. I was like, oh, they must be going at 8. So, I banged out. I made it back though. Look, usually I forget. I
That's all
forget and
my fault.
I come up missing.
That's my fault. I send apologies to everybody, man, because I
It's
was
all
sitting
good.
here. It took so long, and you jumped in, and I was like, I got to get back on right now. Let me get everything situated, because Unc right there. So it's good to see you this evening, and we talking about Darren Peterson. We talking about NBA Summer League debuts. We got a few more on the list, but what's your thoughts on what Darren Peterson showed us in the other night's performance? Give us your take.
Hey, he doing what he said he was gonna do when he got to the league. He said he's not he's not injury prone, and I mean, the way he's playing right now, he's looking fantastic. So I'm impressed. I'm a little upset that there's no summer league on tonight, but we get right back after it tomorrow.
Yeah. Hold your puppies, because we got a banger coming tomorrow on the summer league, and that's debut, and that's my guy AJ DeBanson, Darren Peterson. They go at it again. 9 p.m. So give us your thoughts on. Just looking forward to that game. I put him up there, put his name up there because of course everyone want to know what he's going to do in his debut. For me, I'm not. I'm waiting for everybody else's thoughts. I know what his performance is capable of looking like and the abilities that he has. So I can't wait to see it, once I get in from work. But what's your thoughts on that game when you think about these two being on this next level, facing off in the NBA now, from the high school to the college, and now you at that NBA level? I'm gonna start with you post game on this one.
Man, it's gonna be must see TV, Mossberg. When you talk about AJ DeBansa and Darren Peterson going at it, they've always been 1 and 2 through high school, through college, and now in the summer league and into their pro debuts or pro their pro term.
Yeah, yeah, pro debut. You right. I think you hit it right on the nail. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
But man, I forgive me, but anyway, um definitely the two most talented players in this year's past draft. AJ DeBansa, Darren Peterson is going to be must see TV, and I'm really looking forward to them guarding each other. I want to see them guard each other. This is two players who've been facing off since high school, I believe, and
Yeah.
definitely the two most talented players in this draft, and pillars for their franchise. Man, they're going to lead both of their franchises for a very long time, and I can't wait to see it, bro.
I agree. I agree. T1, any thoughts on this one from what we've seen on a high school level, to the college level, and now to the NBA level? Any thoughts on this matchup tomorrow night?
Hey, just really just agreeing with post game. I'm gonna have my popcorn ready, or my chips, whatever I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have it ready, and I'm gonna be tuned in and locked in, and not just for that game, but I mean, I like this young crop right now, and to see number one and number two going at it so soon, that's must see TV. But let's not forget about Boozer, and I know he doesn't have the high numbers that um they've been putting up, but he's looking very solid and look like he's gonna contribute in a great way right away.
Yes.
So must see TV, man. I like this rookie class.
Oh yeah, you know Mossberg got coming something coming for the Boozer because we got him coming next because they got a big banger coming up Friday. But for me, watching them on a high school level, watching them, on a college level, and now to the NBA. Have anybody really thought about looking at this as a real time battle? Now that they're in the NBA, for me, I'm looking at this. They've grown up from being young men to boys, and now they're growing into men and becoming themselves. So for me, I'm looking at, what each player has worked on to not just get to this point, but to excel at this point. And like you said, Post, this is going to be must see TV. If you're not tuned in to the game tomorrow night, I don't know what to tell you. You better have your popcorn. You better have, you from the hood, you already know, you got to have that Ohio State pizza. If you're from where Post at, I know you got quite a few selections over there and what your eat's going to be. But barbecues, you name it, you definitely need to have it for tomorrow night showdown. Any more thoughts on that game or those two before we move to the next one? And it's coming to UT1 first when I do. Any thoughts on this before we go?
Good.
Appreciate you. No ego, man. Another week, man. And we appreciate you tuning in. Salute to you as well. And we always appreciate you tuning in and tapping in with us. And make sure you leave your thoughts on that AJ DeBansa. Talking about Darren Peterson, NBA Summer League debut. We got more coming. Trust me, they might not be in the box or popping up, but we're going to go ahead and get to that matchup. Talking about Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain pairing in the Chi-Town. I spoke on it a little bit, but I don't think nobody's really looking at this. And they got Carlos Boozer and these men. I mean, not Carlos. They got Boozer and these Memphis Grizzlies coming in. They summer league debut. And me personally, I'm really interested in this game because I've been watching a lot of things on the media with the Chicago Bulls. And since they've gotten Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain, they feel like this city is about to go to a whole nother level. And they feel these two young kids, these two young men, can take them places they've not been in quite some time. So I'm going to come to you and you could talk to me about Dalen Swain, the hometown guy, Caleb Wilson, the young KG as they call him, and that Boozer and that twin, because that kid is amazing. I think a lot of people need to lock into what Boozer can be over in Memphis as well. And I like where he's at because he can really become himself and become his own player and build off everything that no one thinks that he really has. I think he's just a walking bucket, a player that could get you any kind of rebound. Kevin Love, it make me think about Kevin Love's style of a play so much more. We'll come to you first, T1.
And that's on what, the Boozer kid?
Memphis. You got Chicago pairing with Caleb Wilson as well with Dalen Swain.
So that's what the Memphis and Chicago playing each other?
Yep, they play each other on Friday
Oh
night.
yeah. This more must see TV, man. And it's definitely gonna be great to see the newest hometown hero. And I get to see my Cavaliers, and it's the teams that's playing now that we're gonna see tomorrow. They haven't played yet. I don't believe. Most of them anyway. So I'm excited about it. I wish it was today. I'm bored. So
I
can't wait till tomorrow. But then it's every day after tomorrow for a little minute. So quick second. So yeah, I'm excited about this summer league. And really, I don't know if I was this excited last year about the summer league, outside of just seeing Wembley. But I think this is a very exciting summer league right now, right off the dribble.
What's your thoughts on this one, Post? Chicago, Memphis, Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Dalen Swain. Like, what you think about when you think of those three players, even those organizations as well?
Well, when I think about Caleb Wilson, I gotta think like, what if he didn't get injured, right? What kind of run could North Carolina have went on?
Yeah.
And they probably would still have their coach. And would he have been taken before Boozer had he not got hurt? But I think Chicago did an amazing job pairing Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain together, I think that's a very big future building block. As far as Memphis goes, I love Boozer being paired with Edie when you talk about when the regular season starts. I think they complement each other's game really well. And I think that's a future, two-man dominant pair, as well. You talk about Chicago with Wilson and Swain, and then Memphis with Edie and Boozer. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to Caleb Wilson and Boozer competing, and I'll definitely want to see that. That's must see TV as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I like the fact that you mentioned the fact of Caleb Wilson, the injury. For me, I was with you. I had North Carolina actually to the Sweet 16. And I forget who I had them losing to, the way it would have looked with North Carolina in that tournament and advancing with the Caleb Wilson healthy. And I was on a line of actually picking an opposing team against North Carolina, thinking of Caleb Wilson. I think, he's just, I think it's just going to be something special in Chicago. Watching Caleb Wilson, um, watching the Chicago Bulls, I watched their Facebook page. I watched so many videos, and it's like they're at home. They're at a home away from home, and it's like they're so comfortable. And watching them meet Derrick Rose and so many different things, I think this pairing could be a pairing that we look at down the road like, man, 4, and then you go to a 15. You can't get better than these two when it comes to the draft that Chicago needed to elevate this franchise. And for me, like you said, I think Boozer and Edie, I think they're going to be something special. When you think of those guys, I think of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, because of the high post, low post, the production that you could get out of these guys. And not just that, watching them grow and gain that strength and talent together, I think it'll be something that we watch over the years as well. Anything else you want to say when it comes to those two guys? The next, go ahead, T.
No, I didn't say nothing. I said I was all good.
The next thing I didn't put in the comments, but I had thought about other players. When we think about NBA debuts in the summer league, I'm thinking about a Michael Brown. I'm thinking about Alaxo Lindenborg. And of course, I'm thinking about Malik Thomas over in Cleveland. And we know we got a decision. It's July 8th. When, all of these different things swirling and going on, something could come in the air. But what's your thoughts on some of these other players and the debuts that they have coming up in this summer league? And I'm going to start with you on this one, Post. We're going to come right to that comment as well. No ego. Well, he said, I'm going to go to it. My bad, Post. He said Boozer will have to adjust to losing over the next few seasons in Memphis because they will not win many games in the West. I'm going to come to you with that one, Post. I think you'll have a great comment to that, and we appreciate that comment in the chat as well. No ego. What's your thoughts on that? Having the first few losing seasons, over in Memphis, and having those growing pains to get back on that side of winning for Boozer. We know he won throughout his career. He's just pretty much a flat out winner. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with no ego. I do believe they're going to struggle early, but that's the growing pains of the NBA. Majority of all the stars and future stars had to go through those bumps and bruises before they became what they became. But I do like Boozer being paired with Edie. If they can stay healthy, I think that's going to be an exciting pair for years to come.
Yeah, I agree. I like both of the bigs. Winning ways in college. I mean, you could put their trophies together from high school and college, and you'll be like, wow. Some people wouldn't even believe Edie had that many trophies. Any thoughts for you on this comment, T1?
Yeah, uh, for Memphis, I would just say too, don't trip if they end up being one of these young teams, a la OKC, a la San Antonio, with those two dominant front, if they can, you know, make a dynamic duo in that front court, man. Because that could be something special, like post game said. That could be something special. And if they can get some guard play and action, they might just be able to surprise somebody. And I could see this team being one of those young teams that could possibly take that OKC San Antonio jump with the young roster.
I agree. That's a great comment. And I like it because not only that, the fact that, you know, you have those picks, you have money, you know, you have the availability. Some people say what they say about Memphis, but when you got Boozer, you got Edie, you know, you got two bigs that got hands of steel. They're going to get the ball. They're going to put you in position as a player in your position, whether it's to shoot, drive, kick, whatever it is. Boozer and Edie, those are two guys that's not just fundamentally sound. IQ is running off the charts. So, yeah, that's a great pairing, like you said, post T1. And I agree with you as well in your comments. So that's definitely going to be something to look at. And I think as we think about that summer league and some of the teams and the way they've took a picture of that Golden State book years ago, how they were able to win championships year in, year out, take a year off, but still build and get them another one. I think this is some of the ways teams are looking to go about their franchise. And shout out to who is, I can't think of who is the owner for the freaking Golden State Warriors that started that. I want to say Kiki Vandal. I think I might be right. I forget, but shout out to that guy because I think he done put the NBA on notice with that from day one when he first did it. So, you know, any other players before we go to this switch up and we talking about the NBA, but we gonna go back on another side and then we gonna come back to the NBA. We got some fireworks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 614 Ben just getting started this evening. Any other thoughts on that?
On the summer league?
Yeah.
Man, listen, Cameron Carr for the LA Lakers, their first round pick has been impressive, man. And again, I know they give the young talent on these teams the ball and tell them, show us what you can do. But I've been really impressed with Cameron Carr, man. His ability to shot create, you know, his deep ball, the athleticism. I really like that kid. I think that was a money pick for the Lakers.
Any thoughts, T1? I like the pick as well.
Yeah, I agree with it.
I'm looking forward to Michael Brown Jr. over in Brooklyn. You know, watching this young kid, I think, you know, when you think about Vegas, you know, you got, 12, 13 days that they got this tournament going on. You know, it's so many games that's being played that you get to look and dissect so much. I'm looking at Michael Brown. You talking about coming into the NBA Summer League healthy, full go. He's that guard that I'm really looking at. Kingston Flemings, you know, another one of my guys. Bruce Thornton over in Houston, you know, one of T1's Buckeyes. I'm really looking to see how he get himself moving because I believe he got a former Buckeye, one of his guys in his backyard that he was just with down at the university in Tate over there in Houston too. So, you know, just wanting to see how some of these guys do in this summer league, how they, you know, just grown in the last year, ready to play basketball. It's been a while since they touched, you know, a basketball regulation in that type of style of form. So I know they would be ready to get after it for sure. And that is a great pick for your Lakers post and someone that could stretch the floor, someone that could just give you more than what you asked for and what you bargained for. That's what you're getting out of Carr. And I think he is going to be a player that we look at in years to come as we look at players like, he make me think about, oh man, I think of his name. One of the old school players that played Carr. He played for Utah. He played with Jordan in his early years. Austin Carr have that type of effect to the game, you know, with sportsmanship and everything. So just seeing players like that, I think that was a great pick for LA. They needed that type of player. I think it gives a challenge to all those other bigs in the future. And I know you don't think about money, but he's not getting paid much. But I think he's going to be a big factor in that LA uniform as well this upcoming season. And I'm gonna pass it to you on this one, Post, because I know you got some good takes on this one, and I'm gonna read off. We're gonna go from the NBA. And you know when you with the 614 Ben, we tap into this sport, we tap into that sport, but we gonna show the ladies some love. And we gonna read off this WNBA All-Star starters list. And just, have a few thoughts if you'd like. You got Aaliyah Boston, you got Paige Buchers, you got Caitlin Clark, you got Natasha Howard, Courtney Williams, Olivia Miles, and I said all those three in a row for a reason. That's that Washington team, and then you got Kelsey Mitchell, you got is it Janet Shepard, you got Brianna Stewart, Gabby Williams, and then you got Asia Wilson, who is still looking like the cream of the crop when you speak on a WNBA. But for me, just watching this WNBA, I'm gonna pass it to Post because I'm gonna come to him and I'm gonna start with him and let him do what he do. Because your girl Olivia Miles, she's been putting on quite a show this WNBA season, and she's followed with Natasha Howard, Courtney Williams, and they're playing without their mega star, as we've been talking about. Post, I'm passing you the mic, and I'm gonna let you, Allah, do what you do, because your girl Olivia Miles deserve all your mic talk, because I know you got to talk about her and some. Give us your thoughts on this WNBA All Star starters and more.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the WNBA All-Star game. If it was anything like it was last year when they were just hoisting up three-pointers, Moss, I'm cool. I can find something else to watch. But if they really gonna compete and battle, uh, with all the talent they have on the floor, the starters and the reserves, then count me in. But if
Yeah,
it's gonna be a 3-point hoisting contest, I'm changing it and throwing on a movie or something. Outside of that, I'm excited. This has been a really good year for the W. The talent is getting better and better. When you talk about Olivia Miles, I mean, everything she's doing, I've said on past streams that and predicted that she's going to be doing this. She's the female Magic Johnson, and I'm pretty sure her team has asked her to step up her scoring with Nafisha Collier being out as of late. She hasn't played a second of basketball this season. So
yeah,
I just can imagine how great that team's going to be when you insert Nafisha Collier back into the lineup, a healthy Nafisha Collier. Could go with Olivia Miles as well as all the other players they have. Minnesota is a serious team. And I don't doubt them making the championship game. Um, I know a lot was said about the Atlanta Dream players not getting a starting nod, and I can agree with that because those three players, talking about Ryan Howard, uh, Pretty Brown rebound, Angel Reese, and Alicia Gray, those are three of the best players in the W. They definitely should be starting, in my opinion, at least one or two of them. But to have none as starters, I thought was atrocious. But
yeah.
nonetheless, they made the All Star game, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that when it comes to Angel Reese because for me, I thought it was a little wild. I agree with you on that. Watching Angel Reese, watching Rand Howard, watching these ladies do what they do, like they hoop, and 11.8 rebounds a game post in the WNBA. I don't care what nobody say. That's not a easy feat. That's something you got to go in, night out, and you got to be out there. You got to be a workhorse putting in that work to get that. That's 12 rebounds a game,
Bro,
and
she's the
bringing this franchise.
she's the greatest rebounder in WNBA history already.
Yeah. And when you just, I look at it as, where I was looking at the standings and I seen where Asia Wilson was. I said, this speaks volumes, because Asia Wilson was where she was respectively, no disrespect, but this shows how much she's working on her game, how much she fights, and how much she want to do what she's doing. And she's showing us. And I agree, she should have been a starter. There's no way around it. And what that team is doing this year, and what else can we say when it comes to what you call her, pretty brown rebound. Ain't nothing else to say. And I like the Dominique Malonga. That's one of my girls over in Seattle. I think her and Flage, I think they're gonna have something special in years to come. Watching her excel in these last few weeks, and we know when she went on that 37-point rampage, she was actually that week. That week extended, she was averaging almost 22 points a game, almost 10 rebounds a game. She was playing like had an MVP caliber week. Just letting people know like I'm here. I'm gonna be here to stay. You're gonna deal with me. So watch as I get better and put my work in. So I think it's something to think about when you think about how much competition has arisen in this WNBA over the years as it keeps getting better and better. It seems like the competition is growing year by year, and seeing some of the rookies perform already at a high level. I think the WNBA is just going to be continuing to not just get better, but put the world on notice. And it's going to become a contract with NBC, ABC, Channel 10, somebody. Y'all need to get this WNBA. I like Ion. I appreciate y'all for having that WNBA on because it gives me the chance and the ability to watch it. So I appreciate y'all. Any thoughts for you on this WNBA T1? Any stars that you have me coming over there? We're going to get right to your comment. No ego. We appreciate you tuning in with us as you always do, and heavy in the comments as well. Any ladies you like, T1, over in that WNBA? Any thoughts on any that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I love Kelsey Mitchell.
Yes,
But
sir.
as far as the WNBA, I'm upset with them. And here's another board that I feel like I should be a part of, because the way for the WNBA to just make their game just like even more exciting, they gotta lower that rim about 1.5 feet, man. I mean, that'll just change the whole game. And why should they have to jump just as high as the men to dunk a basketball? In basketball, they made the ball smaller. You know what I mean? So they didn't give them a man's ball and say, "Here, go play basketball." But the rim gonna stay the same height as the men. And we know that y'all can't jump as high as the men, but we're gonna keep it at that at the same. They need to lower that rim and let these women and these young women get jiggy with it, man, and bring that showtime to the game.
I'm
So
telling you, my girl Dominique Malonga will have body after body because she already man. It wouldn't be fair if they lowered that rim another inch. Ty, you gonna get somebody's feelings hurt in the
you hear
WNBA.
me? I said I ain't say no inch. I said 1.5 feet. I want them out there being able. Oh, if you can jump, now you can jump, and you can fly around this baby if you want to.
Man,
That would take the dub to a whole nother level. I'm just not understanding why they won't do it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. You might as well give them the same size ball as the men,
yeah,
but you don't, because their hands aren't as big as the men, so you give them a smaller ball.
yeah.
So why not give them a lower rim to jump up on and shoot on and all of that stuff? So, I mean, even at the high school level now, are they afraid of injuries? If the women start playing up in the air, could that be a reason? But and even in these high school gyms and these college arenas, those rims adjust, man. Take them babies down 1.5 feet, and let
So
them rock and roll and make the game more entertaining.
so TY, you want to see the ladies dunk, right?
Yeah.
I got something just for you, baby. Anaya Hardy, the starting 4-5 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish women, is dunking off vert, homie.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. So drop that baby a little more for it. Now she turned into Shaq Diesel.
Nah, listen.
That's what man,
I'm
man,
telling
like,
you,
come on, like
But
that's what would make
bro,
this game exciting.
why we gotta drop it down and she dunking off vert?
she already
Hey,
dunked off vert.
Hey,
It's easy
because we're
money.
doing it equal rights. What's that, Title IX? It's for all. It's let's lower the rim. Yes, she can jump. She gonna be dunking easily off the vert. Then
Then that's
it's
gonna
gonna
throw
be even easier. So she gonna
everything
catch
off.
body after body.
That's gonna throw everything off. We're gonna get right to the comment with Miles. He said Miles reminds me of a female Jason Kidd, and she pushes the rock hard. I think she's special. I say Pinachero, Post say Magic Johnson. I see it all, man. Like I can't disagree with Magic Johnson. I can't disagree with Jason Kidd. I say Pinachero because she was a former WNBA great point guard who did work. I mean, she's just special, man. Olivia Miles is going to be a name. I think when you think of the assist record, when you think of many records, she's just going to be racking up the accolades year after year, and she's just going to be out there playing. She might not even know because she's just playing her game the way she's playing.
Yeah, that's a really good comp. I like that comp by No Ego.
Yeah.
Only thing I would say to that, I think that Olivia Miles is a better scorer coming into the professional leagues more so than Jason Kidd was.
That's a good
But
point.
as far as pushing the rock up and down the floor, money
Absolutely.
comparison.
You spot on with that post game.
And he said, and my boy No Ego, we appreciate it. He said, I think they once said they won't lower the rims because all levels of basketball shoot on a 40-foot hoop or on a 10-foot hoop, so they're used to a 10-foot basket. I agree. And we also got my guy that birthed the great Papa Whitmore in the building. It's good to see you, Papa Whit. South Bend, shout out, man. I can't wait till I get down there this football season. I'm definitely going to be in the air for sure with you and your son. And yes, indeed, that's post game. Ain't nothing like it, man. When your papa watching you, when you doing your work and you cooking up, and it's only on a Wednesday. So we always appreciate everyone tuning in, and we especially appreciate you, Papa Whitmore. That's family, that's love. And like I said, man, I can't wait to get there so we could be in that air as well. And before we switch a little bit of gears, and we're going to jump back because we see us at 42 minutes. We ain't talked a little bit about something that's coming in. And it's July 8th. And I'm going to talk to you about it. Anything else we got before we go to that? You already know it, Papa Whitmore, my guy, man. You already know we was just talking about that on the phone the other day as well. Anything else anybody got to say before we get out of here on the women's side and bite back to something else?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say real quick, shout out to my pop, man.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure, man. Anything else you want to say, man? You got the floor when you're talking about Pops, man. That's my guy, man. Always in tune with us. And like I said, he buffed the great, as that Biggie said. Appreciate you, bros.
Let me give y'all a quick story. So I had made the basketball team in 5th grade, and I told my pop what pair of shoes I wanted, to play in, and them Flint 13s had just dropped, bro.
Ooh.
I told Pop, I said, I made the team, I want the Flint 13s. He said, okay. So when he came to visit me, I noticed wasn't nothing in his hand. So I'm like, what up? And he like, oh, you thought I forgot about you? Open the door, the shoe sitting right there, the box.
Wow. Pop did what he do, man. And it's crazy because like you think about things like that, and shout out to Pops, man. When you able to play in a pair of shoes like that, we all know what them Flint 13s is. When you able to play in a pair of shoes like that, it just give you a different feel. And I was blessed to play them throughout my whole high school years, man. And shout out to my pops, for being able to take care of that throughout my high school years. I ain't had to pay for none of that stuff, man. So it was just a blessing to be able to do those things. And man, that's a memory I know you'll never forget, Post, because I do not forget mine, bro. I slept in a pair of mine when I hooped in them, and I was like, "What, these teams?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sleeping in these joints." As a sophomore in high school, crazy work.
Hey, bro, he a tough act to follow, man.
Yeah, hey, that's what they there for, man. And we just appreciate them so much. And I think sometimes they just might not know, but I know he know because we both be talking, and we appreciate you, Papa Whitmore. Like I said, man, for birthing a great one. Any other thoughts on those women, T1?
Hey, I'm gonna just say this about the lowering of the rim. This is America. Things change. You know what I mean? Things change, and they change all of the time. And they're supposed to change for the good. We know that doesn't happen all the time, but I just feel like it would just, create a more up and down, fantastic, ooh and an eye type of game for women's basketball. And they will adapt really, really quick to that lower rim as if it never happened.
Yep, for sure. And for me, we appreciate you tuning in, Neff. We got Derpy 501 first, and 1-2. We got, of course, coming in, and it's that time, man. It's July 8th. Over the 24-year career, and we gonna tap in real quick. Let me get to your comment, no ego, real quick, and said, my bad, let me get to that comment. It says, I feel they should have lowered the rounds for the unrivaled league since they shortened the court and players. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's something they may think about, see how that go this coming off season. And for me, it's that time. It's July 8th. We seen some signings. They forgot about the Jaylen Brown. It seemed like, we really forgot about Giannis going to Miami because there's been a lot of things that happen. Ja, like I said, over in Portland, it's just been a slew of things. But 24-year career, we had the decision in 2010. We had the return in 2014. We had the move in 2018. It's 2026. I'm going to call this the farewell tour. As everybody been talking about it, why not us, the homies, the WTP sports dudes talk about it. The last time we know, July 8th, he made that decision. What's everybody's thoughts, man? It's steaming into being one of the biggest free agencies, in my opinion. When you think about it, everybody else has made moves. They've made roster cuts. They've shortened the money, but made extensions. They got max money, different years. It's been a lot of things happening. Post, Mossberg want to know, man, what's going on with Bron James, King James? What's going on? I said he coming home. I said the farewell tour got to happen in Ohio for him to be king. That's my thoughts. What's your thoughts? We want to hear the people's voice. What's going on, man? It's 2026, man. The farewell tour, where he going to be, where he ending up. We know the possibilities. I'm stoked because this is big. This is bigger than anything right now. And they said it's a roster spot open for Bronny. That gets even better. What's your thoughts, Post? And we coming to you last, T-Walk, because respectively, I know if he come home, you're going to have your backpack. You're going to have your truck full on the tank like it already is. You're going to have the whole caboodle. And you're going to tell the homies, we hitting up Cleveland. What's your thoughts, Post? And we're going to come right to you, T1.
Why it got to be a farewell tour, though? Why we think he only playing one more year? I don't think he only playing one more year.
I like that.
I think LeBron James is going to play multiple more years, at least 2. Especially if he keeps, reeing up from his supplier on. No, I'm kidding. I know T1 like that one. But no. But seriously, it's interesting, man, because on one hand, I feel like he don't want to leave the West Coast. I don't think he want to leave California. I don't think he want to leave the West Coast. I think he's built a lot of business, a lot of relationships out there. I think that's where he ultimately wants to be. But if I got to pick a team to where he can go to and it makes sense, man, I like Cleveland. I like Washington, low key. I like those 2 teams. I know that no ego is crazy, but I know Philly is pushing for him heavy. I don't think he should go to Philly. With Edgecombe and those guys, I don't think that's a good situation for LeBron. I think they got a lot of young talent, and he'll be getting in the way of that, especially at the positions they're talented at. So I would have to say Cleveland, and my surprise pick would be Washington.
That's ooh. I like that. And I like the fact that you say, well, I gotta be a farewell tour. You've been saying that from day one. And I don't know why I be thinking it's a farewell tour. Just be because it's like, when you think about it, when you watch Jordan and when you seen Kobe and they time, they just came out during that season after the season before that they was just dunking on people in different ways, and they just said this day last year, and they had a bag to get even after that. That's why I say, for me personally, but I think you might be right. You and Papa might be right. Y'all definitely brewing with something. What's your thoughts, T1? We coming to you because we know you Cleveland. And No Ego said we all know LeBron on the candy. LOL. That's our guy, No Ego. We appreciate you tuning in all the time throughout the week as well. What's your thoughts on this, T1? This is big business. This is King James. He could be coming home. He could be going to Philly, city of brotherly love. He could be joining the Steph and keep that Olympic glory going and the talks on that. I mean, he could be going to Minnesota with the young guys and Melo and Ant Man. I mean, it's so many things. What's your thoughts, T1, and what would you like to see?
Well, I've been saying for the past couple of years, although I want to say last year I said that I didn't want him to come back home, but if there's a script and it's written, and as post game say, if he keep on reeing up, he'll end his career in Cleveland where it started, and with his son out there on the court, possibly. And I think that next team would most likely be Miami. I think he either going to Cleveland or Miami, and that way he won't have to switch uniforms. Because if he goes to a fourth team, that's gonna look bad. So I can't see him going to a fourth team.
Mm,
I think that tarnishes his legacy a little bit if he was to do that.
interesting. Man, it's tough to look at. I think, for me, of course, it's been many conversations. When I talk about sports at work or I hear somebody talking about it, I ask their opinion. I've heard fans that's Cleveland fans from Cleveland. They don't want him to come back to Cleveland. I said, why? I said, they're still hurt from what happened years ago, you know. So it's a lot that goes into these thoughts
I
when you
don't
want
think
to go
nobody's
from
hurting. It's my fault, Moss, not to cut you
no,
off,
you
but I
good.
don't think nobody's hurting Cleveland. The last time LeBron was here, we won a finals NBA championship. So actually, all is well.
Right.
I don't
And so
think there's not one person that's hurt by anything that LeBron did once he brought that championship to Cleveland,
yeah,
to the state of Ohio.
so for me, I didn't really, some stuff I understand and everybody have a right to their own opinion. And some things I just, kind of still want to ask questions and you just answered it for me. With that being said, and for me, I want to honestly see him come back home. I want to see him come back home to Ohio, come to Cleveland. I think, it's bigger than basketball for me. But also it's something that tells me if Zuri is excelling, if Savannah excelling and what they're doing and where they're at, if it's a business move to watch them grow, it's so many things like that I've thought about. Like they've watched him, you know, be into this monumental career. This is year 24. Your kids are in college and Bronny's in the NBA now. That's a long time to watch Pops do what he do. So, my thoughts be is he thinking about them, watching them grow into their, stage of life and what they do as well. So I would love to see him come back home to Cleveland. I think that's where he's going. Those are my thoughts. I don't know. I just
I
think
got one.
Cleveland. What's your thoughts, Post? Go ahead.
What about the Clippers?
Mm.
Why nobody talking about the Clippers? If it's not, if he just wants to play and it's not about chasing the championship, then why not the LA Clippers?
Darius
He go
Garland.
there, Darius Garland, Keaton Wagler, Brandon Ingram,
Yeah.
Derek Jones, Brooke Lopez. Why don't you go to the Clippers? Because again, I get this strange feeling that LeBron doesn't want to leave the West Coast.
Interesting. Interesting that you say that, Ed.
Did y'all just not
Something to
see
think about.
the Cavaliers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? So, as you said post game, if he continues to, hit up the supplier, if he can continue playing at the level just that he's been playing at, I mean, Cleveland has a roster that is probably one of the best rosters that he could possibly get on. All the Cleveland's only weak spot is that position that you can throw LeBron at.
I agree.
That point forward.
I agree. But that's why I said if it's not about winning, if it's about winning, he needs to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. If he just wants to play for
But
a couple more
it's about
years,
winning. You know it's about winning, Pope.
I don't know about that, bro. Because when it comes to LeBron James, I don't know if it's about winning. I'm not sure,
agree.
bro.
At this point in his career, I don't think it is either. I think you doing what's best for you in the long run. You thinking of your family, you thinking of your life after basketball, you thinking of the years to come, the investments you already have, possibly as well. I think this is bigger than that. I think you could be that added piece to teams that could possibly you could get them over the hump of winning a championship. Because nobody. Just think, how much was LeBron due to get paid in LA this year? That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
He a billionaire already, so that don't matter. So, Post, what you saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You saying Brian more concerned about his longevity than he is about getting anything else up out of here?
I'm saying I don't know. If it's about winning, T1, to your point, I'm with you. He needs to go back home to Cleveland with that young talent they got assembled. And they don't. This the beautiful thing about it.
Gotta get nobody away.
They don't gotta give nobody away. Just sign on the dotted line. But if it's not about winning and he just wants to play a couple more years, stay on the West Coast, that's why I say, why not the Clippers?
Interesting
point. Because I'm saying he can't do a fourth team. I think a fourth jersey will mess up his legacy in a bad way.
So let me ask you this though, and I don't disagree with you on that, TY. But do you think LeBron care?
No.
That's the point exactly.
I don't.
So with that being said, fourth jersey wouldn't matter. It ain't like this is nothing new out of a superstar in today's age either. We put a lot on LeBron and him. The fact that he has switched.
Oh
teams
no, what LeBron doing is new. All this LeBron stuff is all new.
What?
Nobody ever ran around like LeBron ran around this stuff, but this NBA.
How many teams Kevin Durant played for?
I don't know, but they ain't talking about. Oh man,
superstar. So for me, I just think that it's just a decision that he sit down and he have to make. If this was 10 years, we appreciate your comments as well. If this was 10 years ago, LeBron could go to any team. But at 42, he doesn't have the power to join any team. The average teams don't want him. Top tier teams don't need him. So he's in no man's land. Those are facts. 6 for Durant. So, as I was saying, I think in this new era, some of these superstars want to play where they could try to win, of course, but at the same time, some sticking it out. I don't think it's nothing that we haven't seen over the years. So, that's something that I think about as well. Everybody always bashing superstars, but it's the new norm. It's normal to me. I'm used to seeing it. So it's like, okay, They're trying to join with their buddies so they could play. They've been under contract, making the bread that they deserve, respectively. Outside of that, it's normal things that we see when it comes to today's basketball, but definitely up for this free agency. What's your
Let,
thoughts? Go ahead, Post.
let me ask you a question. Did him getting Mike Brown fired in Cleveland mess up the situation for the Knicks? Because I could see him going to the Knicks. Did his relationship with Mike Brown mess up a golden opportunity to go play in New York?
I think the fact that I've been watching a lot when it comes to this. It was talks that if New York did not win, that's where LeBron was going. It was no question. It was going to be already, we looking at that decision being made possibly already. That was one thing I think. So, man, that's just tough. I just think about that fact, the possibility of him being in New York if New York lost. I think it has something to do with it, but it's tough.
I'm gonna go back to what post game said. You think LeBron James care if that's what he wanted to do? If he wanted to go to New York, he was going to New York, regardless of if they won even regardless of Mike Brown or if they won the championship. But if he wanted to go to New York, he'd be in New York. Mike Brown couldn't say no to the king. You know what I mean? But I'm quite sure that they don't have. I'm quite sure Mike don't care too much for him.
How you doing, Monica Garcia? Good evening. Appreciate you tuning in as well. And we got Traw Kelly, and we appreciate you tuning in as well. Man, it's just something that's tough to look at. I'm just ready, honestly, for the free agency period to come to that end, so we can really think about some things. For me, I'm looking forward to the NBA season, regardless of which team he joins. I think it's going to be a season that we all really look forward to, that we don't want to miss when it comes to key games. Myself, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's banger we have in these NBA Summer League games, as well as Friday. Go ahead, Post. You good.
I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but let me ask y'all a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the fact that LeBron James still hasn't signed is a good sign or bad sign?
It's just it's no sign because it's LeBron. You know what I mean? It's LeBron, and the LeBron demands attention. He's a ginormous attention seeker, and I think everybody probably can agree with that. So he always wants to keep his name in on these podcasts, on ESPN, on Fox Sport. He wants to keep his name ringing out here. So
yeah,
I don't think it's no side, because the longer he wait, the longer we get to talk about him and get to talk about where is he going, and he
I like talking about it. That's for me. Like LeBron, I think is just a big. It's a deal. For you to be 42, it don't matter, man. For you to be playing this game 24 years, I love to hear people talking about me and where I'm going and what I'm doing. I'm anticipating it. I barely sleep now, figuring out and waiting to see if my phone dinging and telling me where LeBron going. So that's just, when it comes to my opinion. And Traw Killer, he said he wants to play with Steph. Bron's going to the Warriors. Man, I've had my thoughts on that, and the reason I've had my thoughts on that Bron is, I thought about him going to Golden State for the mere fact of, like I said, watching Zuri grow up, watching his wife do her podcast. My bad, Tijuana, I had muted with your phone coming in. And that was my biggest thing when it came to LeBron going to Golden State, since they sacrificed, over this 20-year plus time of him doing what he do, watching Zuri do her greats when it come to volleyball. But, Burrow do have a volleyball team here in Ohio. Him and his parents got one. So, it's just a lot of things that go into his thoughts, man, as well. So
one last question I got for y'all.
You got it.
T1 and Moss. If a person has LeBron James outside of their top 5, do you consider that person a hater?
I wouldn't call him a hater. and it's their opinion, and but you close to it. You really close to it. No, I ain't, but you can have some people who can say that he wasn't better than Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? So that's two players right there. And we're not even talking about even a Shaquille O'Neal or a Kobe Bryant. So everybody's not going to have LeBron in their top five. So for someone to not have him in the top five, I wouldn't necessarily call him a hater. But I mean, he just almost automatically goes into the top five just because of what he's done for these 24 years that he has been in the NBA.
T.Y., you be giving people the business any other time, so you had to put it on me to do it. I don't talk my mess, but this what I'm gonna do if they got LeBron outside of their top five.
Yeah,
Here's
LeBron,
the
I
thing.
think you gotta have him there. You could say basketball era is this, basketball that, basketball game has changed, but when I first seen him in high school, I said this is Kobe Bryant. I have Kobe Bryant as the second best player in my GOAT list behind Mike. I respectively have LeBron third. I can't put him outside that top five. Now, if you put other players in there, you got a Shaq, you got your Bill Russells, you got players like that. You're gonna have the Birds, you're gonna have the Magic. You can make a top five NBA, you can make a top 10, but he deserves to respectably be, just my opinion, in that top five.
I disagree. LeBron James is not in my top five players. And I'm not. I listen. I appreciate Brian. I love his game. I love what he brought to the NBA. But I don't think he's a top five player.
who you
Which
got for your top five, post?
Charles Barkley doesn't think he's a top five player. But my only point is, I'm gonna get to your question. My only point is that you don't. Why do I have to be a hater if I don't think he's top five?
It's it's
Sorry.
not what I
Because
mean.
listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Uh, my guy, you on my podcast,
Yeah,
so
calm down, man. Calm down, Troll.
you
Calm
can
down before
go
you get
somewhere
banned,
else.
buddy.
You can go somewhere else with that dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, out of all the people you talk about when you throw them in a mix of top five, top 10, who has the worst winning percentage when it all counts, when everything's on the line?
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it, and I'm not going like
And
when I
that's his opinion, like what I said.
it's,
That's it. Whoever it is, that's their
tough.
opinion, and you really can't say that they're wrong because I'm quite sure that all five that you put before them, are great all-time Hall of Fame players, and with probably, like you say, when it counted most, bigger and better winning percentages.
That's all I'm saying. So I mean, this is my ultimate point. If you got Brian top five, I'm cool with that. If you don't, I'm cool with that. But what makes you think that way is what I'm concerned with. If you feel me, don't just say, "Oh, he's not top five," or "Oh, he's top five." Back it up with facts and your opinion, and I'm cool either way. Whether you got on top five or outside.
And I think the reason I say I would consider some haters is because you have a point. You prove you speak on it all the time. Your opinion is great on it as well. So I'm definitely going to listen in your opinion and not even look at you as being a hater when it comes to that, because your point's been relevant from day one when it comes to any topic, especially this GOAT talk. And you've definitely made if it's questioned, you give the reasoning why behind it. And I think some people don't really have the facts to even know what they're talking about. And then they just mention certain players and certain things to have no honest clue, and it don't make sense. So that's, I think, why I would consider some being haters, and some, like T1 said, I will take some opinion respectably because of that.
To answer T1's question, my top five, I'm going Jordan, I'm going Kobe, I'm going Wilt, I'm going Kareem, and I'm going Oscar.
How's Bill Russell not in your top five?
because I feel like Kareem and Wilt were better players, individual players. Bill Russell was a monster on the defensive end, and he had some monster Boston Celtics team that were just about unbeatable at the time he played. But
Respect.
for my money, I like Wilt and Kareem over him just a little bit.
But don't he? But doesn't he have a championship ring even as a coach and a player at the same time too?
100%. I mean, Bill Russell to me is top 10 lock. I think he's a lock in the top 10.
Okay.
But what I the thing when I think about Bill Russell, if I put Wilt on those teams and took Bill off, they probably won more.
Right.
I like that. I like that point. Make great points
Or
there.
take
Well,
all-
we appreciate that.
Okay, put Kareem on that squad. They put Kareem on that squad.
We
The
appreciate
Sky Hook.
Yep, at Michael K4D2Z
Gonna lose.
tuning in this evening and dropping your top 10 as well. And make sure that when you put the comments in here, you respect that Magic Johnson as well. Because when you come on the 614 Ben and you're in here with Mossberg see everything scrolling. And some things you just not supposed to be saying. You disrespecting goats when you talking about this basketball thing. So make sure you put the correct name on there. That's Magic Johnson. Magic. Put a magic cap or you know what to put. None of that funny stuff. But other than that, man, one thing, you know, just talking about that, we definitely gonna have some great talks coming up when we speak on NBA in the upcoming season, summer league play, as well as some of our thoughts on rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, six man of the year, some of those things as well. The next few weeks, we're going to be bringing that up as we get closer and closer to college football season. We know we're going to be having more talks on that because I think we, 53, 52 days away, and it's edging closer and closer and near. Anything anybody want to say? Because we approaching, we right after that hour, we 12 after. We about to be getting up out of here.
Yeah, man. LeBron James has the worst fan base in the history of sports. I can't stand those gawkers, man.
We appreciate that, post. And they do. People do go. They do go crazy, and a lot of them. I think the reason I say haters is because they don't really be knowing the facts, post. I think that's a lot of it for me, and I try to do as much studying myself. Sometimes I correct myself if I'm wrong, and I have to go make sure I'm doing my fact finding myself right. So, you know, I've seen him play. I think I might be a little biased towards his GOAT status watching him play myself here in high school and just following his career. And that goes to watching the movies. I put everything into that. I really studied this kid, not knowing how much I really liked him as a player, as a man, as watching what he do, you know, for his city and his state. I think that's another thing for me, actually being able to watch somebody and see them, you know, grow from that. I think that's a lot of it. I don't know if you would call it bias or whatnot, but you know, that has a lot to do with it as well for me personally. So you know, outside of that, man, it was just great being here this evening. T1, you got anything you want to tell the people? Because we know we got high school basketball, high school football that's approaching. That's less than a college football, I believe. High school is going to be popping up.
Yeah, I need some football in my life, man. I like being revved up and excited. This NBA,
sure.
I'm one of the coolest cats on the face of this earth, and I don't like it.
For sure.
He said
wanna-
real quick. Yeah, go ahead. I'm about to say real quick. He said, "Where's Steph?" At no ego. We appreciate it. Where's Steph on the list? Is he top 5 or top 10?
Whew.
Steph got to go in the top. Steph got to go in the top 10, man. Steph changed the game, man, and you know something that he's not as much underrated now, but you know just his ball handling skills and the way that he could get to that basket. was something that was really, really underrated, a few years ago. They were just thinking that he was just straight a shooter, but he can put that ball on the string and get to the basket and finish at the basket, not with a dunk, but like a floater, a nice layup or whatever, whatnot. So, I mean, he changed the game and he won big. So I gotta have him in the top 10.
I
I
got
didn't
two
greatest shooter ever in the history of the game.
I got two thoughts for no ego. Number one, and I don't agree with Skip Bayless much, but I remember that year Steph Curry came out and he was saying everybody was making a mistake taking Blake Griffin first. The first pick should be Steph Curry. So I got to give him his flowers for that. And number two, where if do y'all think this is Steph's era or LeBron's? Because if I'm not mistaken, Steph Curry got a better record against LeBron in the playoffs or in the
Steph,
championship.
Steph's era, LeBron's lights. LeBron got the bright lights. LeBron created a cult, man. Like you talking about their fans. Like he created this unbelievable cult, and they are LeBronites, and they're gonna rock with him wherever he go, and they're gonna support whatever he do. And that's just the way that it is.
I think I gotta put Steph in the top 10, man. Definitely, he changed the game from a shooter's aspect. It's gonna be tough not to have him in the top 10. I think it's a lot of people that actually. Some people have him in their top 5. Some people have him higher than Brown. Like I've asked this question, to many people, like just on the outside. There's so many conversations that you could have. When you just listening in or you hear something, I always chime in and ask my thoughts. So I think he definitely is going to be the top 10. At the end of the day, I think some people going to have him top 5. That's just my opinion on what the people is saying and what my thoughts is on where Steph should be for sure. But yeah, other than that, man, I didn't have much else other than locking in and tuning in to this decision, to the return, to the, all this good stuff when it comes to this free agency. And then just relaxing, man, get ready for another work day tomorrow, and then ready for the show tomorrow evening. Post game, we'll be having another show tomorrow evening. So make sure that you keep those notifications on. Make sure you already hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to all the channels that you see at the bottom. Anything you want to tell them about tomorrow post?
Yeah, make sure y'all here, same time, same place. Y'all don't want to miss it. Lock in.
You already heard what he said, man. Y'all don't want to miss it. And South Bend family, we appreciate y'all always tuning in when y'all here on the Wednesdays, when y'all here on the Tuesdays. We appreciate all the support that you showing to my man post game. Because when I say he's coming in, dropping videos, you name it, he's doing what he do, man. And we appreciate you. And I see that Notre Dame jersey in the background, that mean green. I don't know if it's that one from one of them fans, from one of them subscribers or yours, but I know you got them people. So I know they're going to start dropping you stuff off as it get closer to football season post. So trust me, I be keeping eyes and it look good in that background, man, for sure. But I greatly appreciate y'all, man, being here with me as we always do this 614 on Wednesday evenings and bring the people something special, something that they not going to see, but it's always going to be authentic. When you see us on the TV, man. That's one thing for sure. Other than that, man, you already know what we do. T1, you going to take us out of here this evening?
Yes, sir. Y'all already know the drill. We was in the building. Now we up out of here, man. Peace.
Peace, man. Y'all have a good evening. We